but I haven't.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I got time, and I don't have my granddaughter tonight, so I can actually participate.
Okay, of
Usually I can't because she's loud and proud and
course, of course. The 44-year 4-year-old.
yes.
So
Okay,
between
well,
her and Sky, I'm like, who's more adult? And
yeah, go ahead. Because I got time, and I don't have my granddaughter tonight, so I can actually participate.
okay, of
Usually I can't because she's loud and proud and
course, of course.
oh, that's the playback.
The 44-year, I cut it off.
I didn't even recognize my own voice. That's crazy. Who is that? Who's that? She sounds familiar.
And she found, I don't know who it is. You tell me. Okay, we go to music, and then I'm going to mute. Well, I can't mute, but
I'm gonna mute me.
Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Thank you. I got it. I get some.
All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observation, and entertainment. I ask that you comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Good evening, all. This is DFG, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. Coming to you live from the 571, where I get things done and I'm having fun. Today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be femininity in 2024. As opposed to back in the days, I have two guest panelists today, my lovely sisters. First, I'll introduce Chocolate Pearl, my favorite girl.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is Chocolate Pearl.
Sound like a
I'm the
great
904 Duval.
And also, last but not least, she can be a beast. We used to call her Evil Lynn, but she still get it in. I want to say hey to my sister Apple. Come on, Apple.
Hey, everybody. Calling from New York City. 𝐷 in the house. And
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I got to get these lights right. Hold on. I'm looking like a Kung Fu Panda. Okay, light. There we go. There we go. There I am. And today's show is brought to you by the Real Golden Girls. If you want something to rock your world, call on the Golden Girls commercial coming up in a minute. Well, on my other podcast, Tantalizing Talk for You, we spoke about are men as sassy as women these days. We went all around the world, but we understand that sassy is on the eye of the beholder. We also supposed to talk about femininity in 2024. I figure I can do it on my show. And if we continue it on that show, I have something else to do in this. So now, what I wanted to talk about, and this is my little monologue before we get into it, ladies, is in 2024, femininity has a whole different meaning than it did back when we were kids in the 80s and 90s, and before that, when our parents and grandparents were coming up. Women hate to be called females. So they say it's too impersonal, and it's not a dog. I'm not a dog. I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. I'm a woman. Well, in today's society, with all the transforming going along, what is a woman? You tell me, Apple. What's a woman?
a woman is okay. A woman is whoever feels like a woman. I don't want to say that it's whoever's born female, because that's not necessarily the truth.
Well, that's what I'm, and that's my point. What about you, Chocolate Pearl?
With today's society, you don't know what a woman is or what a woman is considered because of today's society. Now, when we grew up, a woman was a female who was born with female parts. But today's society has changed that type of thinking, and that whoever feels that they want to be a woman, they can be a woman. Whoever feels they want to be a man, they could be a man.
And that's I don't know about
And
that.
it's kind of confusing because of the fact that um, with today's society, they're so sensitive in what you call them versus what they actually were born as a representation of, whether they were a male or a female. Now, they decided they wanted to become something else later on. That's a whole different subject, I guess, or maybe it's not. It's just confusing.
Oh, I agree 100%. I definitely agree. Today is confusing. We don't know what's people. I'm putting up a picture. You tell me in the crowd, you tell me, give me a one if she looks feminine, or is she a she, or is she a he, or whatever. I like you to put one in the box if you think it's a female, two if it's not. What do you think, Chocolate Pearl? Apple? What do
I
you
think it's a transgendered female. I could be wrong though.
from the stock image I pulled from the stock image I pulled up, it was considered an average looking Caucasian female. So so my and I just bring that up. I just brought that up to kind of show you what we're looking at in 2024. Stop sharing. Back to us. So saying that we knew what ladies looked like back in the days, and let me get this picture. Let me get this picture. You couldn't, you know, there was and I say this, it's semantics, but this is my observation. All females are women, but not all women. That means all females are ladies, but not all ladies are female, if that makes sense. Like, probably got it backwards. But, there's a difference between being a woman and being a lady. And men love ladies. And y'all remember, couldn't go out the house, you representing family, couldn't do certain things because it would, young ladies didn't do that. That's one of the things. Most and as a guy, I've been a guy going on 58 years. But as a guy, we want ladies. Most straight heterosexual men want ladies. Someone a little freak in the sheets, but we seem to have gotten it backwards. We got ladies in the sheets and freaks in the street, not the other way around. Because you have OnlyFriends and you have all these other platforms where ladies or women are showing off various stages of undress, some for attention, some for the bag. We got to look at it, is it working is not masculine. Work is not masculine. Work is not feminine. However, there are certain roles ascribed to certain genders, and we're not going to go with the 87 genders, understanding we're just talking biological. There are jobs that predominantly men work, and those considered masculine. Can you give me an example of one, Chocolate Pearl?
Talking about a woman being masculine?
Oh, a job that's considered masculine.
Construction, truck driving, even though there are women in both those fields, but that's was considered a masculine job.
Now, what would we consider a feminine job?
Nursing, secretary.
And
Even though males can be those two things, that's what they considered feminine.
okay, and that's you're right. You have a great point. Do you agree or disagree with that, Apple?
I think traditionally, she may have a point that Traditionally, that's what we're used to. But I don't think it's, it's true at all.
Well, it's not binary. Dr. Seductive's in the chat, and she said it's non-binary, and that's true. Jobs should not be binary. However, our perception in society, um, that men are supposed to do certain things and women are supposed to do certain things, but that's not that always the case. No, but it's been traditional in the sense of the household. In ancient times, women did farming, taking care of the kids. Men did the hunting, the gathering, the fighting, defense of the house, of the home, defense of the village, stuff like that. Stuff where chances of danger or bodily harm was greater. It was a sign. It was a sign to. It was a sign masculine. Anything that involved home repair, nurturing, nursing, it was ascribed to the women of the tribe or women of the village, and
Right.
it worked in harmony. Now today, you see men wear dresses now, and you can wear whatever you want.
Carry man, what they call it, men bags, the metrosexual bags, or what kind of pocketbooks, but
Yeah,
they're considered something with for a man.
that yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna hear my boo in the background answering every now and again.
that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. We have somebody else coming on, and is another sister of mine. She's coming on way from Binghamton, New York. Well, anyway, since it's a family affair, we'll just keep going. Um,
But okay, when you were saying about jobs, also I also thought of some. Before it was if you was a hairdresser, you were a female. If you were a barber, you were a male. But now,
right,
today's society, those are both genders' occupations, and it's not a big thing anymore. Men are beauticians, and there are females who are barbers.
But all of that is subjective to me because, like, think back and everything it evolves and it changes with times. Because
Right.
if you think back to like Shakespearean times, actors were mostly men,
all men.
even
No,
for
they
the
were all men. Even the
all
women.
men, right? Even for the women roles, and now we can't even imagine. Now, if we see a man dressed up as a woman or a woman dressed up as a man, it's a big deal. Well, it used to be like growing up in the 80s.
It is kind of in our society. We've kind of made that why black men got to do that. But that's another topic for another show on another day. How you doing, Farrah? Hello, hello, hello. She's still trying to get us squirrels to work. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I say that to say um we ascribe we used to ascribe to different articles of clothing for the different genders. The Bible says a man should not wear women's garments and women should not wear men's garments. Now, the question is what exactly consisted of men's and women's garment? Now, they say, well, women shouldn't wear pants. Did men wear pants in Jesus' time?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Well, and what it is that and in most societies, women wear clothes that say that they're a woman, and men are supposed to wear clothes that say they're a man. Even in the Middle East, the with the coverings, you still know you can tell a difference between a man and a woman. Now, today in the West, especially in our country, you go to your neck of the woods, Apple, and you got women rocking Timbs with straight up got a shirt on, got the hoodie, got the jacket, the base, the fitted, pulled over.
And do. That's a New York thing, though. That I don't
Yeah,
think that's a
yeah,
male
yeah,
or female thing. That's a New York thing. We got
yeah,
to
yeah.
represent.
But what I'm saying is that, you know, some of them look so not feminine that you'd be like, are you playing for the other team? Like I said, nothing wrong with that, but you know, and some women today are wearing so heavy makeup. I know y'all don't do that, but some women today wear such heavy makeup that they look like performers.
Good evening, y'all.
Good evening. About time your squirrel got up.
Oh, jeez. Um,
Go ahead.
I'm a person, I'm more of just, I dress like me. Sometimes I dress more masculine. Sometimes I dress uber feminine or conservative. And sometimes I just like showing off. But
Yeah,
there's,
but my thing is though is that okay, and this hear me out. You are a woman.
Mhm.
You got two prizes to show. You don't push two humans out of you, so yeah, you're a female human. And however, I'm not saying that you know women dressing in that stuff is wrong. I'm not saying that, but if it's what you if it's how you present if it's how you present yourself, this is a lot of this stuff happens like that. They, you know, if you wear the uniform of a policeman and you ain't a policeman,
you go to
people
jail
think you as a policeman.
or you go to jail for impersonating a policeman.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So a lot of these things that we talk about and it goes back and I'm saying on subject, I'm just giving a little context. A lot of these things is that it causes confusion. Now, you know, people get unalive for that, both wearing those type of things. But okay, if we're looking at feminine wear these days as opposed to 50, 60 years ago, we can all consider universally skirt, dress feminine 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Um now
Not
you
even 40 years ago.
yeah, in the 80s. Um leggings,
Yeah,
feminine.
but again, in the 70s, the late 70s and early 80s, a lot of men was wearing
Men, no,
The Uber
men did
tight
not wear
pants.
leggings in the
They
80s.
wore the tight pants. There's a lot. Okay, I
No,
remember.
that's yes, that is different from leggings. From leggings, you were young, but you remember that movie Flashdance
Yeah, I love Flashdance, but I
and
was just thinking about Rick James. Rick James dressed like
Rick James
he
dressed like Rick James. I can't,
exactly like
Prince dressed like
and
Prince.
everybody accepted it. Everybody accepted it with the the Uber type pants, the braids, the beads, the I'm beautiful. He thought he was Muhammad Ali or something. He was so pretty, but there there was always an exception to the rule. Look, okay, not I don't think it's off subject, but think about it. In the 80s, there was Sylvester. There was
Well,
what's the guy?
Sylvester was way ahead of his time.
Yeah, yeah.
He definitely was. He was, yeah, definitely.
Cause hey, I was definitely, you know, I was definitely listening to Sylvester back in the day. And I mean, when he first started singing, I was thinking that, you know, that was a woman at first. Boy George.
Yeah.
Boy George. You remember we used to thought he was a black woman when he first came out.
I
Yeah.
always knew he was a man.
No, no. I'm talking about with Do You Really Want to Hurt Me came out and it was on the radio. Come on now.
Oh, see, I'm thinking about videos.
Yeah, this was before the video came out. Nobody knew who he was. Everybody thought
No,
everybody thought that was a black woman until they saw him on and he said, "Oh, my name is I'm a boy and my name is George." Like, What?
I'm a real boy, Chibeto. No,
But yeah, but a lot of those things that we do talk about, we've gone through this, but those were a lot of that stuff was on the outskirts.
yeah,
We knew there were we had transgenders in the projects. We had we had cross dressers in the projects. It was just part of just it
growing up.
wasn't bad, wasn't good. It was they were just people.
Yeah,
And Nikki J in the box says Prince. Yeah, hold on. I think I showed that picture. I think I showed a picture of that last week in Upscale Love. I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show this picture, and y'all tell me masculine or feminine. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. Yeah, but definitely Sylvester, you are my friend, and you make me feel.
yeah.
I
I
didn't.
thought when I was younger, I thought it was just an old church lady that went secular. That's what I thought. That's how I was so young, but I knew I appreciated the music and the voice. You know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was extremely young, but I remember. Yeah, see, that was the androgynous. That's what
Androgynous.
that's what it's called.
Yes. But
You know, I don't know if okay. Some people I like Prince as a performer and as a he's an excellent and he's a genius a performer and a musician, but he dressed really weird to me. And I never got it. I never got it. And I'm like, okay, what is that?
yeah, that's not. I mean, this the one I got up now. Um, yeah,
I,
masculinity.
I think he was just secure in his masculinity and he dressed how he wanted to dress, and that's it.
Hey, nobody. Hey, I will say this.
Yeah, I
Nobody.
won't say nothing bad about Prince Rogers Nelson.
Yeah, no,
Not
no,
not on my watch.
no. That's what I was gonna say.
I ain't feeling bad about him.
Nobody, nobody accused him of liking men. Nobody, and
Yeah, that's true.
and
Not that's true.
that's how he dressed in the '80s. When we was wearing Adidas and Nike sweatsuits, and you know, we was dressed like b-boys in New York, and
Yeah,
and Prince was coming out like that. But when his songs came on,
everybody danced.
exactly, everybody danced. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, this is Shahrazad Ali. This was
I,
her in the '80s. That was
Yeah, I
her
definitely remember her.
I
in the
remember her.
'80s. Now, she looked like royalty there, but she has an aura of womanhood. If that,
Of
I mean,
control.
yeah, of and class.
Yes.
And authority. She looks like she has some type of authority.
And you will listen to her.
This is a a online personality, the Crimson Cure. She's from Chicago. She lived in New York. This is this was I think I got this last year, but well, like I said, yes, she's covered, but guess what? She still looks like a woman.
Yeah.
Let me go down a little bit more. Another picture of Sister Ali.
But there was an actual time I was me and Apple was talking about there was a time where when you went to more than to social events with family and friends that you actually dressed.
Yeah,
That's not that right there looked like she's going to a pool party, pregnant. But
and
but
and she no, she looks like a
But
woman.
who's to say that's not feminine? That might be
you
her idea
know,
of being
And
feminine.
that was my question. I'm not
I
saying
think
she's not a
I
woman.
can feel feminine just like Farrah was saying earlier. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No,
But
no,
I
go
can
ahead.
wear the Timbs and the hoodies and the sweatpants and feel feminine. I can wear a mini skirt and a crop top and feel feminine. I can wear a long maxi dress and feel feminine. I think it depends on the person. It's just covering.
Yeah.
Now, it's a difference between being feminine and being trashy. You know what? I don't even want to say that because that might be her idea of ultra femininity. And see, no, I can't. I'm gonna mute myself. I gotta mute myself. I'm sorry.
Is that pork chop? Is that ass
Ram wrap?
or pork chop?
Yeah, ham. She's going ham.
She's going ham. Oh,
That's a waste. We were taught wasting food was a sin.
And she's wrapped in saran wrap, so she's saying she's going ham. Now,
oh my goodness.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is female woman. Now, is that feminine?
I'm sorry. Her friends are not friends because they let her walk out the house like that.
Oh yeah.
There's no way. There's no way in the world. First of all, maybe she's in a sweatsuit. Maybe she's trying to lose weight. I don't know.
She's at the club.
Yeah, that's not like smelling like salted cured ham. No. Oh my
what
goodness.
is considered to me? What is considered appropriate?
Okay.
Is there anything such? Is there such thing as appropriate anymore? Because now we're just allowing society to just come out and look like anything, and it could be inappropriate. I wouldn't want to see walk down the street with my children or my grandchildren and see this woman dressed like this. She is revealing too much. There's something that I don't want my children to have to see. So you telling me I can't go out in society anymore because I don't want my children to see somebody half naked?
See, now, and this is the important thing about us holding each other accountable. Now, her friends, if she had real friends, they would have told her to be like, yeah, probably wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You probably
but
not.
Then again,
who say that her friends
judge?
Don't dress like that as well and feel that that's appropriate?
But who are we to judge that we're not wearing that? So why would you care what someone else is wearing? Is my point.
I agree with you. Your body, your choice. However, what you go out with is what people see, and people react to what they see. Now, would a little kid be rude and say, "Why that lady got meat on her like that?"
No.
No, you always get hungry after the club. That's just that's just a smart planning on her part.
You stupid.
She got her snacks ready and waiting.
And then warm, nice and
a couple
warm
of drinks and party on that floor. She gonna start smelling.
Yeah.
Like cured bacon.
I'm going to assume if you look at this woman, I got the cursor on. Is that more appropriate, feminine, and something that you could go outside with?
She's still a little bit more covered up than the other one is.
It's not even about the covering. It's more. I appreciate. It's no wearing parachute food in the street. You shouldn't be wearing food that's supposed to be refrigerated.
Well, she's heating it up.
Oh,
Dab says that it's called creativity.
Yeah, I got an itivity. I got an epidity, but yeah, creativity ain't what I was thinking. Because look at the lady in the back. She's more. She's well covered, for lack of a better term. Now,
okay, conservative. She's more conservative.
She's more conservative. Yes, I agree. And look where her friend's at. This got to be her friend because she's like, somebody taking your picture. I don't want to be.
Look at everybody, all three females in the back. They're looking at her like, what the heck?
Exactly. But ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
I would, because I would have been drinking at that time, and my mouth is just a little
reckless.
How we should say diarrhea-ish.
Yeah, reckless.
So I would have asked her. I'd have went up to her, asked like, "Excuse me, first off, how much for a slice? And second, what is your mama gonna say when these hit her Facebook with her old church lady friends?"
But that's going, excuse me, that's going back to when you just mentioned something that reminded me of back when they were doing Freaknik. You know, you were doing all kinds of stuff, showing all kinds of things, doing all kinds of stuff. Now that it's and thinking that it wasn't gonna pop back up.
Yeah, I used to tell.
Now you embarrassed because you don't want your kids to see that you was in that, you know, doing all that stuff.
Yeah, my number four Rodney's on in the live, and we say to each other that we glad the internet did not exist when we were we were coming up, because none of us would have jobs.
Oh, at all.
Ooh,
Okay, so
the picture
I'm
got.
glad that he brought that up and you brought that up, because they dressing like this on their time, and with today's society videoing everything.
Yep.
You think looking like that would jeopardize someone's job?
Oh, I know it. I know it would. I definitely know it would. But
so if you know that this would jeopardize your job, would you still dress this way?
Well,
even on your off time?
Well,
I would be more selective of who's taking pictures. And
not even that, because
nowadays you don't know who's taking pictures.
You don't know who's taking pictures of you. I agree.
Nowadays you do not know who's taking pictures, because people take their camera out and video everything.
Yes.
I
Snap
agree.
pictures of everything. They don't care who you are, where you come from. If they see it and they feel that it's funny and embarrassing, they're going to take a picture of it and they're going to post it as soon as they take it.
Well, I had somebody post something that wasn't even my post, and it jeopardized my job because they were on my Facebook page.
Well, that's because that's just how life is these days. You got to be. You have to be very careful when it comes.
Very careful, yeah.
I deleted that person.
I remember when, and I know this has nothing to do with addressing, but I remember when Farrah had went to our baby brother's birthday celebration, and she's not a drinker, and she drank some stuff, and it made her sleepy. But because she couldn't, hold her liquor, someone videotaped her and posted it on Facebook without her knowledge. And I saw it. I went ballistic, because at that time she was looking for a job. And employers, no matter if it's Waffle House, McDonald's, Walmart, any place that you're applying for, the first place they start to go now is your social media.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think right now. But they look at that and they form an opinion about you and say, no, we don't want you representing our company. Right. Even though that wasn't what it actually looked like. But you don't know if, like I said, I didn't know what was going on. And I was frantic, and I was like, wait a minute, y'all need to take this down, because you don't know who's videotaping you. You don't know who's taking pictures of you. And if someone, because y'all see that even with this platform we are now, if you subscribe and share, you don't know who's watching.
And things get loose in the wild. That's why you don't put out too much stuff that you don't want to be seen, because it will be seen. The picture I got up is two different eras, but as you can see, one's in black and white. Women approximately looks around the time frame looks like the late 40s, early 50s, around the time my mother was born. And on the right is probably Memphis or Florida. And you see they got a 40, so they in the they are in the lower economic area, because they don't sell 40s in the suburbs.
No, they surely don't.
Yeah, but again, what makes them say that one is feminine and one isn't? I think confidence is feminine. She's confident, no matter what we think of.
No.
I agree with you on that.
Confidence really is not neither feminine nor masculine. It's confidence. But there's a difference between being confident for how you present, and then there's confidence like what you see with the women on the right. And my thing is, just because they make it your size don't mean you got to wear it.
But why not?
Oh no, you can wear it, but what is the purpose of it?
Okay, there's confidence, but you could be confidently foolish in your choices. And okay, yeah, you're confident, but again, you and your friends are not really mentally stable if you actually like, okay, but there are people that are willing to take and date people who dress like this and act like this and then get mad that they turn out to be very toxic.
I agree. I'm just saying it's not Apple. I'm not judging them for what they have on, but my thing is my whole thing is that okay, you're wearing that. Do you expect do you
Right.
you expect the respect that the women on the left will get? You won't
Right.
come.
I think it's to
but
me it's
see,
not
that's
necessarily confidence though. For the for the ones that's on the right, I don't think it's necessarily confidence. And the reason why I'm saying this is the fact that sometimes you want to be seen. And a lot of people dress like that because they feel that they look sexy to someone else that may draw attention to themselves.
well,
Do you
that's
understand
true.
what
But
I'm saying?
also, she might just like how she looks in it. And who are we to judge her?
No judgment.
Okay. No. I'm just saying. I'm
She
saying.
might just feel confident and sexy and desirable in that, and she likes how she looks in it. She likes how, she's letting it all hang out because that's what she has, and I mean, that's not something I would personally wear in public, but who am I? That's what she chose to wear. Now the friend behind her is a little slimmer and she has basically the same thing on, but they chose to take a picture of the one in front because she's a bigger body female.
Yeah, it's
Now
just it just trips me.
if they were slim, like a size 2, 3, and they were dressed like that, nobody would blink an eye.
I
Oh
would.
no,
I would.
Because you're
I
already
would.
slim body. You're already slim body. But I've seen smaller women wearing outfits like that, and like Andre said, just because it comes in your size, you shouldn't wear it. So that's even going after her size, because you wouldn't have said that if they were a little slimmer.
oh no, I would have said it depends on what they
I would
have.
have said that it was slimmer too.
Yeah, either way.
Because if you're revealing more than I want my child to see.
Or anybody needs to see.
And sometimes it is uncomfortable just looking at it. I understand
And
that the clothes are
that's why you
turn
had
your head.
the neck, the thing under your chin, it swivels. It moves in all
Exactly. No,
directions.
that's all I
If
was
you don't
just
want to
saying.
see it,
I
turn your head.
understand I can close my eyes or turn my head.
Right.
Yes. But I still have to walk down the street.
There are things that that I wear that maybe Tawana wouldn't wear. Things that Tawana wears that maybe Farrah wouldn't wear. But we all look good in our own individual ways. We have our own individual style. It doesn't
Yeah,
make it good or bad or less feminine.
no,
Because
look,
our
I'm
our sister, she lives in 4, 5, 6-inch heels, and that's good for her because she loves it. I can't do it no more.
You
Farrah
talking
has
about
never.
me?
Yeah, you honey.
I can't wear that no more.
No, but I'm just saying.
I wear it for a hot
Growing
second and gotta take them things off. But I see what you're saying. It's just for
right,
style. If that's just your flair.
right. But what makes her more feminine in her 6-inch heels than me and my flats and Farrah in her sneakers?
no, but it's how
I
you
know
carry.
I'm not asking you. I'm just saying in general.
Oh
That's
no,
why I
no,
said
that's what I'm saying.
femininity is subjective. It's how you feel within yourself. We can't say that them dressing like Sexy Red or Cardi B, like they both dress very provocatively, but Cardi B does dress more conservatively at times. But who are we to say what's feminine if that person feels feminine in their own skin and in the way they present themselves? Who are we to say, oh, that's not feminine, that's trashy?
Okay, and Okay, you have a very
But
valid.
didn't they have a law saying about indecent exposure of what's
Yes,
appropriate
but
and what's
that's,
not?
for general purposes, um, showing nipples in public for women is considered obscene. A man showing his lower parts obscene, and a woman showing her lower parts obscene. Everything else, if you got enough to where you can't see like the folds and stuff, that's not considered indecent because you're covered. Now, and it is
And
subject.
on the same, I'm sorry, because this is kind of on the same token, these are the same people that'll see a breastfeeding mom and say that's inappropriate. That's the most feminine
That's
thing you could do is
yeah,
breastfeed
And
your
they
child.
sexualize it.
But if
And
they
they
see
sexualize it. I hate it.
and yeah, exactly, and they'll say, "Oh, she's indecent because she's breastfeeding her child. She needs to go in the bathroom and
but
feed her child in the
that's a
bathroom."
hang up on
No,
that.
you go eat your hamburger in the bathroom.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. That's a yes. You have a valid point. I'm not arguing, and I agree with you on that. People who do that are not. They're just not good people, because if a baby's crying and you want the baby to not cry, you're going to do what you got to do. Now you're going to try to be discreet, but you're not going to, you know, if the baby's crying and the baby really crying, is hungry, you're going to feed that baby, and I have no problem with that. Some
Full
people,
disclosure, full disclosure. I was on the train with one of my newborn babies, and I strictly breastfed most of them. And I went to I think it was my second one. I went to go breastfeed him, and somebody rolled their eyes because I discreetly lifted up my shirt. He wasn't able to see anything. I think it was an old lady. And I leaned the baby back and started. When I seen that old heifer rolling her eyes at me feeding my baby, I flashed her because you staring so much, now you're gonna really see it. But does that make me less feminine or
no,
more feminine because I'm advocating for me and my child and
Right.
my right to feed my child how I choose to?
right now, here's what I got showing now is traditional gender stereotypes. So we talked about this on Tantalizing to Talk about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Now, are women having everything on the left and nothing on the right? No, it's a mix of stuff. But certain threshold that's past that, and same with men, that if you do too many of the other things, you kind of we look at you differently. That's the best way I can say it. Um, if if you're a woman and you're just dominant, like everything's got to be your way, that's and you dress like that. That's where the Tims and the the hoodies and all that other good stuff comes in, and you hanging around dudes and you're gonna try to be like a dude. That's not feminine. Conversely, if you're a man and you're walking around and you got on sparkle shorts, and my joke is, I keep my gold sparkly thong around just such an occasion. Now, if I was to walk around with that and some 3-inch wedges or something like that, and a top.
I'm glad you said wedges because your niece couldn't take the stiletto.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know shoes a little bit because I got y'all. So, but anyway, if I was to wear that stuff and a gold, and had a little hat on the top, I don't think I'd be looking very masculine. Now that won't mean I'm not manly, but I would be questionable. And today, a lot of times we look at things, and like I said, we can't tell you where the line is, but we kind of know it when we see it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but sometimes people just like stepping over that line.
And why should there be a line?
Why
Because I
should
can
there
look at both of the traditional gender stereotypes and I can pick from each list.
that
And
that
it,
I
and
have.
I
Yeah.
and it resonates with me
Right. And you
of the type of person I am.
you're supposed to, because we have, as much as we hate to say it, we have those traits. Now, do we use them all the time? No. I'm not always aggressive. I'm, you know, I'm not always dominant, and y'all sure ain't none of y'all passive.
Yeah. I was going to say I
And we're
have.
not too dependent on anybody either.
Exactly.
And
So
that's why when I'm looking, I was like, dependent on what? That's what
it, well, let's talk about that. When they're saying independent, it's your with your protection, your, for the most part, your ability to feel safe. If you're walking down the block and it's a man and you have a choice of being with a man or with a woman in a more area where you're going to be more dependent on that guy, and hopefully that it, in your back of your mind, you'll be like, man, I hope this dude will fight in case something pop off. And in New York, stuff be popping off.
But truthfully, it depends on the women I'm with, because if I'm with my sisters, I fear nothing.
Oh, I know you don't.
I would take my sisters over a man any day as far as like protection.
Well, y'all, that's because y'all like to fight.
I don't like to fight, but I'm not afraid
to fight. We don't like to fight, and we don't start it, but we definitely will finish it.
But
play about my and talk hot mess while we are okay.
Oh, I
agree. My sisters, if you want to.
Y'all know me.
But there's again times where I stopped going out with certain people because I didn't like how they acted when I didn't like how they act.
But that was a moral. That was a moral decision that you made.
And
that you decided that that's not what you want to be involved in. So you made a moral decision.
And that's maturity and growth.
Right.
Because when we were, 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago,
I was reckless.
We used to do some reckless stuff because we was from the hood. We
reckless.
We feared nothing.
I was an angel.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
Don't get on Beyonce's internet and lie. Don't do that. Don't lie.
No, tell that to the audience.
You heard that said? I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
I know you couldn't. I couldn't say that. But what I'm saying is that
I was just thinking about that from how I was, and I know the behavior that I had, and then turn around for me as a mother of two boys, looking at them and trying to explain to them that, I'm in the house now, but I wasn't always like that. And I do know what I'm talking about. I might not be up on certain lingo and things of that nature, but the streets are the streets. And it doesn't matter what time, decade, or anything. If you're in the streets, you're in the streets. So you're going to have a certain, I have a certain knowledge that they don't, but because again, I'm a female and they're male, and they feel that I'm extremely old and decrepit and I don't know anything because I'm old and decrepit and I'm not in the streets anymore. So they feel, oh Ma, you don't know what it is like. Yeah, I don't know what it is to be a young male, but I know what it is to be a young person in the streets, regardless of female and male. Even though as a female being in the streets the way I was, I had to move a certain way. There's a certain way in rules and regulations that women have to move around in the streets also.
Yeah.
So,
but did that make you masculine or did it kept you feminine?
That made me aggressive.
And according to that stereotype,
I'm about to say, according to that list.
Yeah, but, I mean, but the thing is, though, it's different. The difference is that, like I said, we both take from both lists. Some are part of you, some is situational.
Right.
Now, y'all know I'm not really aggressive, but I can be.
Yeah. Right. When need be. I was just telling Dabs that the other day. I said, my brother, if I need him in a situation, he would stop, drop, and roll. But if he don't have to do that, then he won't do that. And that's what, just like you said, it's a situation that you're in. It allows you, or it forces you to change your thinking for survival.
Yeah, definitely. So, but that's but a lot of times we don't look at it like that because we don't really want to see it like that. We look at we look at it one for one or all for one, and we don't take everything into account, what's happening and how we deal with it.
I want to tell you a story that happened to me Saturday. I went with my female friends to this first time event where they were supposed to have a seafood festival, but it really wasn't. And it was ran by African Americans. And even though we already bought our tickets in advance, the way they had it unorganized, it took us 3.5 hours just to get into the gate. So we had to stand on the line that whole time. In the midst of that, it's in the morning time. I'm tired. I'm hungry because I was going to the festival. I chose not to have breakfast. So I'm in this line for this long period of time. And then there was this couple decided to just roll up on the side of us. And I'm watching this couple at this time, it's after 2.5 hours possibly, that this couple just appeared somewhere. Anyway, we're standing on the line, and I started getting agitated because every time that we finally inched up a little bit more into the line, they inched up with us. And I'm thinking, I don't recall them standing next to me when I was in the beginning at 12 o'clock, and now it's 2:30 in that line with me. You know what I'm saying? So other people around me was looking at this couple as well and getting upset. And as I try to, now that I'm at a certain age, I try to be a little bit more conservative with my thinking.
Oh, you lose filter.
I didn't actually. Anyway, with my thinking that I try not to say anything, but it was, time was going through and we're standing there for a long time. Long story short, I finally said something to them. And I said to them, I said, excuse me, are you with any group? And they was looked at me. And what are you saying? I said, because I don't recall you standing here 2 hours ago with next to me. And I know you're not with these other people. And so the guy turns around and says to me, well, my girlfriend was standing here all this time. I said, I promise you she wasn't. But y'all sitting there talking to each other and trying to make sure that y'all didn't make any eye contact with the rest of the group. That, and I was very polite, but I said it with authority to the point where they kindly walked back behind us. But every time they try to stand in somebody else's place, they wind up keep going back because those people wasn't playing. But if I didn't say something in the beginning,
coming with y'all.
Yeah. And it possibly would have been okay if they would have asked, but you're trying to be slick. But what I said this to say that I had to release my somewhat femininity and become a little bit more masculine in a polite way and be aggressive to let those people know that we know what you're doing and you're not getting away with it.
Well, and
was I considered being a man because I was?
No, because now here's what it is that as a woman and as a mother and now grandmother, there are ways you talk to people and how you say it. You don't have to raise your voice to be aggressive. You were assertive and you got your point across without having to, you mediated and kept temperatures low. And so, yes, you were using some male traits. However, that didn't make you masculine because you addressed it. You saw an issue. You addressed the issue. Just like our mother used to talk to us when we was acting up in church or something like that, and she talked through her teeth, and we all did it. We need to go somewhere.
I think it's in the parent rule book of how instructions of how to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
But let me ask you guys a question, and this just popped up in my head. Do you think that Black women are inherently perceived to be more masculine than other women, even other women of color, white women? They
I'm gonna let
perceive
Dabs answer that for me. Go ahead, Dabs.
What got to do with this?
Huh?
What got to
No,
do-
she's asking a question. So, do you feel what
Yes.
she just said,
I do.
and why?
And it's not necessarily a bad thing,
But I'm saying why. I understand if you think it's a bad or good thing. Why do you feel that way?
because I think they're stronger women than other.
Do you think Black women are stronger?
Women, other races, so that masculinity proceeds to protrude out more than another race.
And do you think? Do you know
But
why
instead
that?
of us, instead of people looking at us as being assertive and being
Aggressive.
feminine, they look at us like we're hard all the time. Like
I wouldn't say all the time. I
most
said,
of the time. And I'm not saying about necessarily Black men. I'm just saying people in general. If they see me, I'm a quiet person. I know I don't seem like it on this podcast because I'm passionate about the subject, but I'm a quiet person in public. And my friend who happens to not be Black is more outgoing, and she's more of a extrovert. I'm more
Outspoken
of an
person.
introvert. Right. But she's more aggressive than I am in certain instances, but they'll automatically look at me as the aggressor. Even like growing up, because of my skin complexion, I would be with other people that maybe they'd be a little lighter in complexion or even like a different race. I was always looked at as the aggressor. And I don't know if that
Just because
comes from
you had a resting bitch
no.
face, so that's possibly
well,
what
yeah,
happened.
well, I get that honest. I can't help my face. It's my face.
Which one of those,
But
which one of
it could be that, but it also could be, the fact that, they look at even Black girls
people,
as being,
it's the same.
masculine and tough. Even when you go into the hospital as Black women, they feel like we can take pain more so than our counterparts.
I just was talking about that. I was just talking about that. Like, we go in and have a baby, and three other races will come in and have a baby at the same time. They'll cater to the other races, but like, oh, you okay? Because they think that we're going in there to get pain medicine so we could either sell them or use them, or abuse them.
Right. And I
But that
actually had
stems
that
back from
experience.
slavery time when we had to, when our foreparents had, excuse me, our foreparents had to have a baby one day and then go back out in the fields another, whether they were dying or not. You know what I mean? Or they worked until the baby dropped out of them, type thing, and then they still was expected to man the fields right after they had the child with the child on your hip. So it stems back to that, to where our counterparts didn't have to go through as much as our ancestors had to. So
But does that make them more
they wasn't.
feminine than us? That's my
No,
question.
It
Does
does.
it make
It does.
no.
In actuality, yes, it does.
how?
Well, they look at it. They look at it, and what Chuck the Pearl is referring to is that because we were looked at for over 250 years as beasts of burden, we weren't quite human. Three fifths of a person. A lot of those say we take more pain, we don't feel pain, we don't do this. So a lot of negative stuff came out of came out of all of that, and it even bleeds into our lives today. What Farrah was saying about those things is true. We just, that's it. You seem less feminine because to them because you weren't considered feminine when you were in the fields working because you were treated like a pack animal. But that's kind of what we were looking at. Now I'm gonna play Chocolate Pearls commercial, and then I'm gonna say my closing things. It would work if I actually.
Thank you, bro.
Can-Am Spider F3 with performance.
Hold on.
Visit a dealer today for great offers on your new Can-Am.
The boy sometimes got to get smarter than the stuff.
By the way, my company was named after my sisters.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. Hey, we are going to talk about Arizona. That occurred there.
Oh, God.
And what it means.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, incompetence, I know. I just wanted to show this quick video.
To say you're settling. You won't even date a bus driver?
I saw that video that everybody's been reeling about. I wouldn't date a bus driver. I'm a bus driver. Take a walk with me. Yeah, the ceiling's that high. Let's step outside, shall we? Oh, porch light on. Excuse me. That's my car. Paid for cash. That paint job, that's about $4,000 worth of paint. This lovely home behind me, over 4,400 square feet.
That was a shirt.
We're talking, what, 6 bedrooms, 3 bath. Journey with me to the backyard. 5 pit over there. The question isn't, will you date a bus driver? The question is, will we date your bum ass? Thanks, Marta.
I don't see nothing wrong with dating. I don't see nothing wrong with dating a garbage man, or a bus driver, a janitor.
Now, if you got a job, that's a plus for me.
Yes.
Not only will I date a bus driver, I would be a bus driver.
That
all
too.
the benefits and whatnot.
I don't drive, but
and your back will not be able to take it.
Well, I'm just saying, if circumstances, were different.
I got you.
I would definitely, especially one that looked like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I know that was
yeah. I was saying the same thing. I was like, I didn't hear anything he was saying. I was looking at his shirt.
That's what your next topic should be about.
It's
about the judgment of people's jobs nowadays If they feel that your job is not worthy enough to make a lot of money, they don't want to be bothered. So we need to have that type of discussion. Because I would date a bus driver, truck driver, cab driver, because guess what? They have a car. They have a job. And most likely have a place to live. They're not a homeless, how you call it? A homeless sexual?
A hobosexual.
It's a hobo.
A hobo. Yeah, hobosexual. Yes.
Yes. I aspire to be one day.
A homeless person.
I'm looking to help me relax in my masculinity, you know, because I'm in survival mode. I got a degree. I got education. I make over 6 figures. I protect, I provide. But I don't feel fully masculine. I want to get in my soft guy era. I want a woman to come
I can't stand you.
for me, to get me out of survival mode so I can rest in my masculinity.
Listen,
you know, your niece called her brother a homosexual. I just want to put that out there too.
Well, he's not a hobo. He has a somewhat home, but
he has a job.
But she said he gets with these women for a place to sleep. I said, okay.
That's the definition.
Don't do my son like that.
That's a definition. But he does work and he does pay his bills, so he's not on the bum line.
I thought a homosexual was a person who is surviving off another person. Because
yes, but usually a woman.
That's why I said a person. I didn't say a man. I said a person is surviving off another person to survive, or living off another person because that's how they survive, because they're not working. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I got a response to my. I said I think Miss Nikki said, "Oh, please," because she doesn't want me to come. She don't want me to be great. She don't want me to be in my soft guy era.
Oh Lord.
So I'm gonna have to keep surviving. Well, ladies, we've gone over the time, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all, I'm glad y'all got my back. And once
I made it tonight.
Yes. Once we blow up, I'm putting y'all on. So don't even worry about that. Thank you for helping me out. I want to thank each and everybody who came tonight. Hopefully the discussion was lively and it was flowing. On that note, I'm going to say, never make love by the garden gate. No love is blind. The neighbors ain't. I will see y'all next week when we're talking about jobs and what kind of, does the job matter? How you make your money legally? Does that matter? Does that matter for a woman or a man on what kind of partner they're gonna be?
Well, me and Dabs will be there next week.
I will definitely be there too. And this was a good discussion. Hopefully, I would be able to participate, but if I have my grown granddaughter with me, I may not be able to.
And I may not be able to because I may have to close at work. So
I understand. I appreciate everybody.
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't.
Thank y'all.
No problem.
You're welcome. I'm sorry if I was a little assertive and aggressive and
No.